Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teleiosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. I'm glad you're here. We're at Ephesians 4, the end of verse 28, in a wonderful section of Paul's admonishments and commands for life in the church and our experiential or second sanctification in our Christian life for those who have believed by faith alone in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ and have become Christians, born-again Christians, that how we live so we can become more like God. 1 Peter 1:16. So let's go to the text. We're starting in the middle with the word Teleios, and this is a short word, and with the T on the front, you think of an oblique, non-nominative case. The AIS tells you it's the dative, feminine, and plural. It does not match Kirsten, which is hands. Okay, so that SIN is in the third declension, the dative plural. So the fact they don't match is a tip-off to the third declension. Ina, in order to, doesn't change. Eki, so this comes from echo, to have. That eta is a lengthening of the vowel from the EI and tells you it is a subjunctive, a present subjunctive. Should have. Metadidonai. So this comes from the root word didamai, and it is a me verb, a thematic verb. So these have an infinitive ending of NAI. So meta is like to displace, to give. So to give or to give over. To krian ekonti. So this is a little difficult. To tells you again, short word starts with a T, probably an article, relative pronoun. That'll make it tells you it's a dative singular, masculine or neuter. But notice that the next word, need, krian, is an accusative feminine singular. So it doesn't match the article. They do not go together. Where does the article go? Where is it a relative pronoun? Well, the next word, and sometimes you have to look around because remember that word order of Greek can be flexible and direction is given often by these case endings. The next word again is echo, to have, and that it's a participle as told you by the NT next to the N, that omega, or excuse me, the Omicron O in between the root ek and the NT tells you it's present or future participle. Future participles are pretty rare. That I ending tells you it's a dative singular. So it goes with the TO article. So it should be translated to give over to those, or excuse me, to the one having, and then the object, krian, need. Okay, so the whole verse. He who is stealing, no longer let him steal, but rather let him labor, working the good to those hands, or by the hands, excuse me, this is a dative of means. Remember, dative can mean by something, instrumental case, or to, to, indirect object. So by the hands, in order that they should have to give over to those having need. Okay, nice. Again, good exhortation that as we live in the body of Christ, our primary goal is to serve others. And we're to serve others until we can't. Somebody has to serve us. But that's when we get up in the morning, we're thinking, how can I serve my believing spouse and kids, and also those in the church, and even those we want to get into the church. So we're service to God and service to people by profession and church life. Okay, we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Really, another great verse for living a wise life. Next time, please join me then.